What's going on YouTube? This is iTalk.
Quick, drop a like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds if you guys want the Red Strike starter pack for completely free.
Here, and in today's video, we have a brand new video. Welcome back to Unpopular Opinions Week. Guys, I just want to quickly say, before we even get started with this video, the amount of comments I got on the first episode of the Unpopular Opinions Week is absurd. I've never had 3,000 comments on a 60,000 viewed video. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for wanting to share your unpopular opinions with me. And I think we have enough that we could probably make a unpopular opinions year. Now, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just saying you guys have given me so much to work with here. And again, I'm just so grateful you guys are enjoying this series. But without further ado, let's just continue on with our unpopular opinions week. From Boo Boo Kun, he says, Oblivion should get the Omega Lights / Colors edit style as well as her glider and the pickaxe of Omega. Never seen someone mention it. So I've seen this actually pop up a lot on Twitter. We've been asking for this for so long now, and I think someone even mentioned it on Reddit about the pickaxe especially. And yeah, Oblivion should definitely get the Omega Lights, honestly. Even if you didn't earn the Omega Lights from season 4 for Omega, why not just give it to Oblivion? That just makes so much sense. You might as well do it. They did that for Ice Queen. If you got her harvesting tool, you got all the edit styles, even if you didn't get the edit styles for the Ice King or even the Ice Queen, because Ice Queen actually got the challenges associated with her to get the edit styles as well as the Ice King. So if you could do that for the harvesting tool, why not just kind of replicate the same thing? Like, why can't the Omega pickaxe get the colors? That's why no one really runs that pickaxe, because if you can't mix and match your colors with the Omega, if you have the Omega Lights, then what is even the point in using the Omega pickaxe? It doesn't even match at all. So yeah, Oblivion getting Omega Lights would be a phenomenal idea, even if you had to put some challenge to it where you had to level up the skin or something like that, outlast opponents, whatever you had to do. That's a great idea. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion at all. I've said this before, Oblivion needs more lights, and also giving her more colorful lights to match with Omega would be a great idea. Why they haven't done this yet is beyond me, but maybe in the future we will get that. So thank you so much for your comment. From Time Weaver, he said the speed modifier trap in creative should be in BR as another form of mobility. So as we could probably tell by now in this season, Fortnite is really eliminating mobility. I mean, we lost the ATK, we don't have the quad crasher, we don't have, like, the only things we have for mobility is the hoverboard, the launch pad, and the shockwaves. We don't even have like the normal impulse grenades, which actually provided more risk. So they're really trying to lower mobility in order to make the mechs more powerful, I guess, even though they're already really strong right now. And the speed modifier trap, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have it on my Capture the Flag map, and you know, that could be a really interesting idea. As long as it's not like it lasts too long and it's not too fast, I don't really see the problem with it. I think that'd be a cool idea. Why don't we just give that a try? I think that'd be a cool idea to just try that out. Like I said, as long as it's not too fast and it doesn't last too long, because you can modify those in the settings, I think that'd be a great idea. Why not? Why don't we give that a try, honestly? From Jevzg, he said, Team Rumble is too sweaty now. Many people go in lobbies of 16 people, sweat Team Rumble and challenges. This is actually kind of a good point because, yeah, like I've said in my videos previous, if you want to rank up the fastest way to do it is Team Rumble, get 16 people in your lobby, and just clean house. It has actually gotten a bit sweatier now because of those people doing 16-man lobbies, and I kind of feel bad because Team Rumble is probably the most casual mode for this game, and you know, it is partially my fault that I'm telling people make 16-man lobbies and just clean house and get easy wins and get faster wins. So I do feel partially upset that I'm kind of one of the people. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but because I'm telling people to do that if you want faster XP and better and faster wins, I do feel kind of bad that it is a little bit too sweaty now. But I do feel like a lot of people played Team Rumble for the sense of just doing challenges anyway. So I didn't think it was like super not sweaty to begin with. But yeah, I do think that if you really want to have a good team to win in Team Rumble now, you do kind of have to run a 16 man. Like if you're playing solo and you're not even doing squad fill for Team Rumble, your team probably won't be that great, just saying, because people want to avoid playing games where you just die, you loot up and die by a mech or die by a better player and stuff like that. They would much rather play a much safer mode like Team Rumble, and because you can't really do that now unless you have a 16-man lobby where it's a lot more, you know, faster and a lot cleaner to do, that yeah, you are kind of in for a bad time unless you get, you know, into a 16-man lobby anyway, because, you know, Team Rumble is 20v20, so you have a 16-man lobby, you have a chance of being, you have, you know, 1 in 4th chance of basically being in a lobby with someone that is on a 16-man team, so you would have a better time. But I totally agree with you that some lobbies have gotten sweatier in Team Rumble, but honestly, I think with the addition of the 16-man lobbies, me personally, I think this was already going to be an inevitability anyway for Fortnite players that do enjoy playing Team Rumble. So if you want to counteract the people being too sweaty, would highly recommend you just try to form up your own 16-man lobbies to counteract them. From Vita, he said, in no other game good players are hated more than Fortnite. I wouldn't necessarily believe this, because I know a lot of people in like Call of Duty are really hated for being so sweaty by using, like, you know, those grips on their controllers to make them play better, or they're either like taking Adderall or something like that to play better and to be more hyper focused on the game and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily want to believe that Fortnite players are like the good Fortnite players are the most hated. I kind of have to disagree with that, but I will say this though, because Fortnite is for a younger demographic and a lot of our pro players in Fortnite are underage and they're a little bit younger than the usual players, they can be the most toxic. You got to think of it, because I know Jay Rudo made an excellent video about this, and I'll leave a link in the description. Definitely check out this video. It's a really good point he made, is that in Call of Duty you have to be 18 to play that game, and you're more mature when you're 18. With Fortnite you only have to be, I think, 13. It could be 14, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 13 now to be a pro player and to actually be an eligible competitor to actually make some money. Being 13, I remember when I was 13, I was immature as hell. I mean, I think we can all agree that if you're at a younger age, you're more prone to be an immature child than a professional player. A lot of kids now are starting to make careers off of Fortnite by being professional players, so it kind of makes sense that Fortnite is probably the most hated in terms of good players, because like I just said, most of them are probably too immature, and they probably just, you know, say all this stuff on Twitter. Like, I follow a lot of pro players on Twitter, and it's almost like every day or every week a pro player is saying, oh, they're splitting from their trio because stuff isn't working out and they're not working things out with their friends and their competitive partners and stuff like that. It's almost like an everyday occurrence at this point that so many people are constantly just saying, yeah, I'm looking for a new trio, or yeah, I'm looking for a new duo because my other duo didn't work out. I mean, the Fortnite World Cup, the duo that won, they split like almost immediately, and it's like, it's almost like, it's insane to me. It does seem like Fortnite pro players are some of the most hated. So honestly, I didn't agree with you until I really thought about it. I'm starting to agree with you a lot more now. It does seem like pro players, especially the ones that are most immature, are the ones that are definitely looked down upon. Because also you got to remember this as well, is that Fortnite is the most popular game in the world right now. Because the game is centered around kids, they're most impressionable by these pro players, so they're going to say the same things they say, they're going to do the same things they do. So that's why Fortnite's community kind of has a bad rap, is because of the top influencers complaining about the game, myself included. I do complain about the mechs and stuff like that. That's why I only play creative right now. It's really hard to say that Fortnite isn't the most hated in terms of their pro players. So honestly, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. From Giant Bagel, there should be a mode where you can play against 99 computers. This is a phenomenal idea. Why can't we get this? That is actually a really, really good idea. That is honestly probably a really good way to practice in this game. I think that'd be a great idea. How has no one actually thought of this? I'm pretty sure someone has thought of this. I haven't personally. This is such a great idea. This would honestly really help out the newer players. Instead of giving them something that's super easy to use in game that ruins the fun for everyone, why not just make a tutorial mode, or why not just make a mode where you face 99 other people? I think, like, other bots. Like, that's a great idea. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion at all. I think that's a really good way to have people learn their game at their own pace. Like Overwatch has this, Call of Duty has this, like almost every other game that is deemed competitive has their own practice range, or has their own, you can face against AI or bots or whatever. I think that's such a great idea. Honestly, they should take this into account, Giant Bagel. This is a really good idea, and I don't think this is an unpopular opinion at all. From said, there is no such thing as an unpopular opinion. People are just too afraid to share their thoughts. I honestly can believe this because a lot of people do get crapped on for their opinion. I remember when people really had something against me when I made that video talking about should the wave emote be sold in the item shop. And I said, honestly, there should be no harm, no foul for them to sell the wave emote from season 2 when you got it at level 5. You didn't even have to own the battle pass. And I said, honestly, that emote should be sold in the item shop because it's such a friendly emote. It's such a simple one. And I don't think many people that started playing in season 2 that only got to level 5 and they have nothing else to show for it would be too upset about the wave emote being sold in the item shop. And I got a lot of flack for that because it's exclusive, and I've said before I wouldn't be happy if they sold exclusive skins in the item shop because they're deemed exclusive. All I was saying back then was that it just seems weird that a wave emote would be a battle pass emote and that it should be sold. So it is scary to sometimes voice your own opinions. It really is. On Twitter, you get flamed really hard if you say anything regarding an opinion that isn't that popular. Like right now, if you're on Twitter and you say that mechs are good and mechs are great for the game, you will get constantly crapped on for your opinion, which is really sad. But I understand why people can be a little bit mad when you say things that conflict with their own opinion, because it almost feels like you have the right opinion, or you feel like your opinion matters above everyone else's. And when you see something that's just as broken as the mech, and you see people like saying it's not that bad, and it just makes you so angry. It honestly makes me really frustrated when people say that the mech is good for the game, because in my strongest opinion, the mech ruins the fun for every other player in the game that knows how to play the game the proper way. So I get that people get very mad when people say, oh, the mech isn't that bad, or oh, you should just get better, or oh, you should just get used to it. I understand that, and I understand that people don't want to say that the mech is good because then they'll get flamed for it, and I totally understand that. And honestly, when people submit their unpopular opinions to me in the comment section, I don't want people to be mad at people. I don't want people to say, oh, your opinion's crap because you're saying that it's an opinion that's different to everyone else's. I don't want people to attack each other for their own opinions, you know what I mean? And I really do wish that people would kind of come to the realization that we're all born different. We're all different people at the end of the day. We all have our own opinions and stuff like that. So we shouldn't be judged for what our opinions are. But yeah, when we have opinions that are very strong, people don't want to share it. And I totally understand where you're coming from with that. And I do think there can be an unpopular opinion here and there, because there's just some people that can take it. There's some people out there that can be like, oh yeah, it's whatever. It's, you know, it's my opinion at the end of the day. If people have a problem with it, then whatever. It's not their fault. It's not my fault that I have such a different opinion, but there are people that are scared to say it. And I do humbly agree with you on this one. I'll give you 50-50. There is an unpopular opinion for sure, but there is also some people that just don't even want to share them because they're too scared to get judged on it. So honestly, I totally agree with you. I'd say 50-50 on this one. From Bananarama, he said that the Flintlock is one of the best guns before vaulted, especially paired with the combat. By the way, I loved the Flintlock. So the Flintlock pistol, I really liked it. It was different. It was used as a mobility tool. It was used as a way to get higher ground. It was used to avoid taking fall damage if you shot at the perfect time. It was a one-shot monster. If you didn't even have to aim with this thing, and this thing did insane damage. I felt like it was a little busted with its one-shot potential, with how much damage it does. That, like I said, you don't even have to aim with this thing, and you could get one-shot kills with this thing. I firmly believe that the Flintlock is a bit strong. I am very upset that it's gone though, because like I said, it has so many uses. Even though it doesn't look like it could have a lot of uses, it really did have a lot. And I don't know, I have a feeling that the Flintlock, I wish, would actually come back. And I feel like it was probably vaulted because it was mainly for, like, you know, the pirate themed season, and now that's long gone. I don't know if it'll ever come back, but I think that the Flintlock is one of the best guns. I feel like it was one of the most balanced, besides it being a little busted when actually using it on enemies. I think it was a pretty fair weapon, especially because it was a one shot, then reload, and the reload was very long. I do have to agree with you. I thought this weapon was one of the best. Maybe not the most balanced, but it was definitely one of the most fun. From Josh Vanbo, he said, Epic should hire Hypex. He makes good skin concepts. In fact, they should listen to community ideas. Yeah, this is right on the money. They really should do that. Like I said, Fantasy Fool made the Guild and Aura skins, and those skins are honestly some of the most well-received skins I have ever seen. Allier uses the Guild skin because it does look like him a bit, and everyone loves running the Aura skin, especially like the Sweaty Tryhard, and it's amazing to me that the community can react to such skins this way. I mean, remember when the soccer skins were first out? Everyone loved those skins, and I think people still really do enjoy those skins, so I think Fortnite should really take into consideration more community ideas in terms of weapons, concepts, and even skin concepts. And Hypex is a very good skin concept designer. He makes his skins from scratch most of the time. If you ever check out his channel, I'm sure you guys know who Hypex is by now. He does really good skin concepts, and honestly, they could hire him. I would say go for it, honestly. That would be a really cool idea. From Retro, he wrote, "Save the World is underrated." You know, it's weird because Save the World is the first iteration of Fortnite. I feel like kids don't even know this. I don't think people actually know that Save the World is actually what Fortnite used to be, and then they added a Battle Royale mode, and everyone just gravitated towards that Battle Royale mode. I think mainly because it was free, but then we all stayed for its uniqueness in terms of the building, the gunplay, and everything like that. Everything just felt so good for a free-to-play game. And you know, Save the World is a game that I do play sometimes, especially when Fortnite is going to be giving those Battle Royale players that are high in Save the World, like in Twine Peaks and stuff like that. If you play a lot of Save the World, you're going to be earning pickaxes to use in Battle Royale. And once they allow that, I am going to go straight to Save the World and get all those pickaxes. So I think Save the World is fun in small doses. To me, Save the World just feels way too repetitive, and I have a lot of dry spells with it. It's not the most fun for me. I personally don't like playing with too many people, at least like complete randoms. I'm not a really big fan of that because a lot of people just say, oh, I want to trade, or they're just like really rude over the microphone, and I'm really not a big fan of that. Like, I'll play with subscribers sometimes on like creative maps, but that's different compared to like playing with completely new people in Save the World. And it just feels repetitive to me, and I'm not entirely the biggest fan of it. Like, Demon Joe France is a huge, like, Save the World player and streamer. I love his content and all that, and I love his streams and everything. But I just can't bring myself to fully enjoy that season too much, at least. I can't see myself fully enjoying Save the World until I get myself really back into it. Because the thing with Battle Royale is that Battle Royale has always something new to play. And I feel like if I miss out on that by playing Save the World, I'm missing out on something in Battle Royale, and I don't want to miss those things. So Save the World to me is fun in small doses. I do think it is a bit underrated because I do think it's a really fun mode for people that are trying to play Fortnite but are frustrated with the game at the moment. I do think people should give Save the World a try, and that's honestly what I have to say about it. From Block Melon OW, he said Dusty Divot was better than Dusty Depot. Rip Dusty Diner. So Dusty Divot, honestly, if we're looking at it from like better loot, yeah, obviously Dusty Divot is a lot better than Dusty Depot. Even Dusty Diner was a really nice addition to it, but I think a lot of people wanted Dusty Depot back for the nostalgia's sake. I personally loved it, and I still like it to this day. I love Dusty Depot. But out of all the places they could bring back, I kind of wish they just brought back Tilted Towers. Because Tilted Towers, to me, was better than Neo Tilted, and it's better than the new Tilted we have right now. I think Tilted Towers coming back would be a great idea. I've said before, I think I've said it on a YouTube video before, but I kind of didn't like Tilted Towers was the go-to place for most of the players to go because I felt like most of the map was being ignored. But now that that's pretty much gone, I do see other players go in other areas. But here's the thing also with Dusty Divot, I said this in the previous episode, is that because it's back and it has nostalgia factor to it, everyone lands there, and they never buffed up the spawns on items and chests and stuff. Like Dusty Depot is barely Dusty Depot to me is barely any better than Dusty Divot because of the loot pool. It looks nicer. I do like the factories a little bit, even though, like I said, I don't think they're that much different than Yonder Yard as it was unofficially called. And they just need to add more loot to Dusty Depot, and then maybe I would say that Dusty Divot was worse than Dusty Depot. But yeah, I do think that Dusty Divot was better. I mean, it had trees too. Like, I don't know, the Dusty Depot, it just needs a bit of a buff in my opinion, especially with everyone going there. And then lastly, from Bowser Jr. Adventures, he said, though releasing the Gunner backbling was a bad idea, I don't think Epic had to give everyone a refund. If the people thought it would be a good idea to buy it, then that's on them. Community didn't need to get upset if they were not planning to buy it. So this is actually a pretty interesting point. I kind of felt like they handled it wrong as well. I bought the gunner pet as pretty much a joke because I do collect things, and I think it's funny to own like the Empress pet and then the gunner pet. I think they should have given us an option for us to refund it if we want to, because if you guys are unaware, they drastically changed the Toy Trooper skin and the other skin as well, because of how well the colors blended in with the grass. So they had to add like a lot of dirt, darker colors and stuff like that to these skins. They give you 30 days to refund the skin if you don't like it anymore. Why couldn't they just do that with Gunner? Give us 30 days, a free refund token if we just didn't like the Gunner pet, right? But I will say I didn't like it. I bought it as a meme basically. So I don't know if like it makes sense, because you're not forced to buy everything in the item shop. People just have this like need to like want to collect things. Like Fortnite, I think themselves realize that almost whatever they put out, people will buy anything from it. It doesn't even matter. As long as it's from Fortnite, people will buy it. I mean, look at Funko Pops. I mean, I'm not even the biggest fan of Funko Pops, and I buy a bunch of the Fortnite Funko Pops. So it's crazy to me that like people will buy anything just because it's from Fortnite or anything like that. So I think they should have given us an option to refund it for free if we wanted to, because I did think it was kind of fair for those that didn't earn the Bonesy pet from season 6, and now they just kind of took it out of the game completely now. I think what they needed to do was just change it a lot, because that's true, right? We saw what it looked like in game, and if we wanted to buy it, we could buy it. It was a very tiny bit different compared to the original Bonesy pet. So it's very mixed for me that they refunded it and gave 200 V-Bucks to people, because you weren't forced to buy it, right? So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but honestly, I do agree with you that I think they didn't need to give everyone a refund if they truly wanted the Gunner pet, because I know a few people that actually liked the Gunner pet, so I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Was it ripoff? Absolutely, it was a ripoff, but I think that they should have just given people the option to keep it if they wanted to. I mean, that would have been the better business move if they just kept it in the game, but Fortnite sometimes does care about us, and they think they know what's best, which in this case, I think this was the best course of action for them to do. But for the small people that wanted to keep the back bling, they should have let those people keep it. And that is it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know with a like, but only if you enjoy the content. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and turn on the bell just to get all my latest uploads, and comment down below. What are some of your unpopular opinions on Fortnite? Remember, we are doing the Unpopular Opinions week. So today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be nothing but unpopular opinions videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. Follow me on Twitter at ITalkFortnite. Follow me on Instagram, ICanTalkFortnite. If you would like to use me for support a creator, my code is ITalkFortnite. Thank you all so much that use that code. You seriously do help me out a lot. You are the reason why I don't have to make every video past 10 minutes and add a bunch of advertisements on the video. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all later. See ya.